I'm Morgan.
And we know better.
Welcome, guys. Second episode in the new space, and it's not a fancy episode. Like, this is our first non-special episode in a while.
In a month in pod time, which is 2 months in normal time.
Yeah. Right.
Which I guess is still just 2 months, but like in my head, it's like 4 episodes is a month.
True. Yeah, but not really, because
they come out every other week.
You think we'll ever go to like every week, or should we just?
If we get paid, yeah.
You know what? And right.
As
God,
soon
I
as
just
we're...
think about like, God, what the fuck am I going to talk about if I have to do this every week?
True. I feel like a lot of podcasters do get to that point. Like, Brittany
Yeah.
Broski on her past 2 podcasts has been like,
I'm caught up now.
hey, like, I've been doing this for 3 years, and like, what the fuck do we even talk about
But that's
now?
hard because it is just herself for sure. So
True.
I can imagine just being yourself, you're like...
I don't find her... I do support her changing the format if that's what she wants to do. Mm-hmm. She's been talking about, like, she really just riffs, like, kind of how we do riff episodes, but she does, like, she has things that she also wants to, like, look up, and then she'll do, like, songs she's into and, like, book club, and, like, some, like, she has some bits that she brings back when they're relevant to what she wants to talk about.
Right.
She doesn't do the same thing every time, which I really like, but I kind of like that it's, like, a conversation with her, but she's talking about maybe switching up the format because she thinks it's getting boring for her to do. Mm-hmm. She feels it's boring and not fun for her anymore. And so she wants to maybe, like, get experts and, like, bring, like, you know, true questions of things she wants to know and really, like, get into it. And I support that if that's what she wants to do, but I kind of like the way that it's set up now.
Yeah, I think she's entertaining. I think it's just, like, kind of an in-your-head thing, and she thinks she's a lot less entertaining than she actually is, and, like, probably you get to a point where you don't feel like you know what you're talking about, so you're like, why the hell would anyone want to listen to what you have to say, but, like, people do.
Right.
The people do.
And I get it from a recording standpoint. Like, you feel like you record 5 Nothing Burger episodes in a row, and you're like, why the fuck am I even, like, doing this?
Yeah.
Understandable. And I guess I kind of felt that way about Out of Character. I think once the, like, infatuation with them wore off, I was like, the fuck are y'all even doing?
Yeah.
Like, what are we talking about here?
That's true. They would benefit from not being weekly, I think. They would benefit, I think.
True, but their views say otherwise. More. It's kind of crazy. This is, like, I feel like I am, like, I feel like I almost feel bad when I stop watching an influencer or YouTuber, because I feel like a lot of the times, like, I kind of follow the crowd in sense of, like,
sure.
I fall off with them when they fall off, the, like, influencer themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And Slushy Noobs, this is the first time where that's definitely not the case. I mean, they're not as, like, viral, I would say.
They're not in, like,
but their views are consistent.
Yeah, that's true.
And many.
Yeah.
So they're still up.
Yeah. So who are we to say?
Right, exactly.
There's one thing at the end of the day, we're going to shit on men. Doesn't matter if we like them or not.
Maybe we were digmatized by Slushy Noobs for, like, a little while, and now
I will admit that 100%. I will admit that. But I mean, this is ruining chances at ever a future collab, I think. But, like, I think their quality just has kind of gone down. There's something earnest about people just starting out. Maybe you guys will say that about us when we go big. That you'll be like, yeah, they ain't the same like they do. But I don't know. Just in my mind, it's easier said than done. I'm like, I can't imagine me ever changing, because if I don't want to do something, I don't want to do something.
True. I think also they fall. Like I said this last, I think when we were doing the questions, I do think every influencer in some way falls into a little bit of the influencer. Yeah. Not personality, but the lifestyle, because that is your lifestyle. You do have a lot of money, but not, like, billionaire money, but you start to do things that you've always wanted to do and do them consistently. And, like, with Mandy and her vlogs, it's hit a point where I'm like, girl, like, I'm just watching you spend all your money because you got money now.
Yeah.
Like, that's not as entertaining than, like, sort of the domestic. Well, I think also the novelty with Mandy at first was because she's dating Martin. Yeah. Not saying that Mandy herself is not interesting. I guess that sounds sort of misogynistic, but I think that was the draw of, like, I want to know more about your girlfriend. She seems so cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and, like, yeah, like, show me content without Martin
she was
from
very
her, because I want to know who you are.
And that was what was going for her, and I feel like for me anyway, is, like, you traveling all the time is, like, not very relatable. Do you like her Disney vlogs?
Yes, I guess. I think the Disney obsession for me has fallen off a little bit. Not in the sense where it's like I definitely still would want to go, you know what I mean? But I guess because I know so much Disney now, it's not as fun watching other people do it, because I think my big pull when I was really obsessed with Disney vlogs freshman year of college was watching them be on the rides. The rides and then the outfits and the ears.
Yeah.
Less like, oh, I'm tasting this food.
Sure.
Because I don't know. I don't really think Disney food is that great.
Yeah.
In my humble opinion.
Yeah. Is it crazy to think that if we did go big that I would not turn into influencer?
It depends. I think if we never quit our jobs, then yeah. Like our real jobs.
You think then we would become...
We wouldn't. I think what the influencer persona is born out of the fact that their job is...
Yeah.
Making content that now needs to consistently go viral.
Right.
Because it has gone viral, and now you want to keep up the flow and keep up the cash money, and then also like showing and then turning your content towards showing what you're actually spending your money on. I feel like every time they sort of do that in a way.
Right.
If that makes sense.
So you think if we...
And then when they become, I guess, that's a bit, I feel like we would do that. Like when they become friends with other influencers, and then like you kind of realize that they're like fully networked into the whole, and then the increase, I think, of ads as well.
Totally. Well,
it's a combination. I guess that's just explaining what an influencer is. But I feel like once you turn your content into like what it's like being an influencer, or you start to pull that curtain back, I get there's some level of relatability to that. But then it's also like, bruh.
Yeah.
I don't know, but Vanilla Mace, I think, does it well. Where she pulls the curtain back on what it's like to be a streamer and influencer, and it feels very relatable. She feels like a very relatable person. Yeah. I think she's definitely fallen somewhat into the culture, like I said, because I think it's inevitable. But, like, just because, you know, she's friends with Tara Yummy now, things like that. And that's where it's like, yeah, I can see it happening to you, but I don't dislike her for it. I think there's, like, a meter of how much where I'm like, okay, now I don't really fuck with you anymore, but I don't feel that about Vanilla Mace at all. And I think she shows her own influencer job from behind the scenes in a way that feels relatable and tasteful to me.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I don't know, I just feel like I'm built different. That I'm like, no, it won't, well, nothing will change for me.
You know who, well, I guess I don't know anything, but I would ask that streamer who you really like.
Lass, yeah.
Probably not at all. Do you think she has fallen into that influencer sort of persona? Or, like, do you think it's getting there? Or do
it's
you think
hard because she really only makes streaming content, like... You don't really see her acting outside of the streaming. She definitely has, like, collabed with more viral people, but not anyone that's, like, crazy famous. Like, Vanilla's probably the most famous. Right.
Just in how she acts, I guess, in comparison.
I don't think so.
I would say I would believe that is what based on the content you showed me of her. It feels very much she stays the genuine, authentic.
It's hard because her content in the way that like her niche is not very transferable to the influencer life. I would say because she is so raunchy and like nasty girl. Like she's a freak. Mm-hmm. She's a freak, and I feel like being a freak. Like does not lend itself to, especially as a woman, does not lend itself to an influencer lifestyle because like brands don't want that.
Right. That's
like
fair.
I've never seen her have any brand ads or anything like that either. Again, I don't like watch her like crazy, but I haven't seen her have any branded things. I mean, she does have a hot girlfriend that she probably got through influencing, so
yeah,
that's probably the biggest thing.
Yeah, there's a lesbian who makes TikTok content based in Minneapolis / maybe Minnesota adjacent, close to Minneapolis. But I saw their content all the time, and they talked about how they were single and how they wanted a girlfriend. Other day, popped out with hot mask girlfriend, and I literally sent it to Morgan, and I was like, I don't even fucking care. Like, whatever. Yeah. Whatever, I'm pissed. So you're a Minnesota influencer, and you get a fucking hot girlfriend from being a Minneapolis influencer. I'm so happy it worked out for you. But that's exactly what you said. Like, okay, you're, like... And this influencer is not huge in the slightest. Right. It's, like, very niche, but, like, I feel like they commonly show up on the For You page of gay people, at least sapphic people in Minneapolis. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, that sort of, like, slightly grown niche. Right. Where, like, I saw them on Hinge, and I was like, I know exactly who you are.
That's funny.
Way a while ago. So, all I'm saying is... even when you're that small, like, you're reaping some sort of benefit, so, like, when the fuck is that going to happen to us? That doesn't really seem fair. Oh, well, I guess. Well. And. Well, maybe it has happened to me a little bit, but then I got dumped, in a way. In a mutual way. But
right.
I'm calling it
yeah, it kind of has. I mean, that was our first taste, so it wasn't like you met through that.
No.
But it was, like, acknowledgement that people do see the podcasts that are in the spaces that we want to be in.
Yeah, I did, like, the first opening message from this person was, like, oh, do I, like, know you from somewhere? Like, this looks familiar. And I was like, I have a podcast with the girl in the... remember when we had the Masturbator 1 and 2? My Hinge does have that photo of us. Actually, I might have changed it recently, but, like, it did for a while. Mm-hmm. And that was the photo. And I was like, oh, like, yeah, I have a podcast with another girl, that girl in the photo. And she was like, oh, like, I totally have seen it before. And then the even crazier part about that story, without getting too far into it, was she didn't even know because she saw it naturally, or she didn't even know because she thought I was hot. She knew because of a different girl that was somehow associated with Morgan. Yeah. So it's like I was, like, kind of, like, pulling from Morgan's power, in a way.
I guess.
When I found that out, I was like...
It's giving me a little too much credit but when you say it like that, but...
True, but it was, like, the third or fourth time we were hanging out, and she was like, I have to, like, admit something, and I was like, what? And she was like... Because, like, she had posted as, like, I thought you were hot because I've seen your TikToks and whatever, and, like, and that's why I'm reaching out to you on Hinge. Like, I've always thought you were hot. And, like, maybe that's the case, but then she kind of was like, I have to, like, be honest, like, that's not... Like, I sought out your podcast because we wanted to watch Morgan. And then when I saw the Hinge, that's how I realized where I knew you from. And I was like, she didn't just want me because I was the hot one on the podcast.
I mean, shit.
That could still be true, but, like, that she had posted in a way
where... She didn't watch the podcast because of that reason. But she watched the podcast and, like, that person's hot.
Well, and also she didn't know that's how she knew me when she liked the Hinge. But she had posed it as, like, you were the hot one on the podcast or the clip or whatever that I saw.
I was the hot one on the podcast? Or you were? I was like,
that's how she had posted originally. And, like, maybe that's true, like, looking back on it, she thought I was hot. But, like, she didn't seek me out on Hinge for that reason. So she was like, yeah, like, just have to be honest, that's not true. And I was watching it for Morgan, and I was like, right. Cool. But that's, I guess, we haven't talked a lot, candidly, I guess. Not that we have to talk about relationships, I'm just talking about life updates in general.
True.
Getting some life updates out there, but yeah.
We both had failed talking stages. We'll admit it. Fuck,
at the same time, too, and ended within a week of each other, and Morgan, you told me that Saturday that, like, things were over, and I was like, it's doomed for me. It's currents. It's not going, I'm gonna fail. I can't, it's, like, weird. We always, like, kind of, well, I can admit, though, I think there's some level of, like, because we are so similar, we are the only people in our friend group who are both queer and both single. Yeah. We have people who are one thing or the other. Mm-hmm. And also, like, kind of, I feel like I was when I met you, pretty steeped in queer culture, but I think our evolution of, like, really revolving our lives around queer culture and, like, not really letting anything else in has also been something we've been doing at the same time together. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
And, like, really trying to embody that queerness and like, everything we say on the podcast, like, we're very quite similar people. Yeah. So it's, like, there's, like, a level of, I think, internalized comparison that sometimes we have with each other. Not even, like, am I doing as well as her? It's, like, that's not the thought. It's more so just, like, oh, wow, we actually are both talking to a girl at the same time, and how does that look? You know
I also
what I mean?
think it is harder for us not to both be single at the same time.
True.
Not to say that influenced any of the things, but, like, generally it is, like...
Well, when Morgan...
We're the two token singles, queer singles specifically, like...
We're the two femcels. We are the two femcels, and we can't, like, all that to say, when Morgan started seeing the person she was seeing a few weeks or maybe a month or so before I was seeing the person I was seeing, and Morgan, it seemed, in my perspective, like, oh, like, this could work out, like, she could date this person, and I was like, fuck, I need to get on Hinge. Like, not that I need to get on Hinge and get in a serious relationship, but I was almost like okay,
it's hard to be single alone.
I was like, okay, yeah, I need to start dating and, like, figure out my shit too. Yeah. And so that's kind of why it started at the same time. But the ending was actually not at all. Like, I didn't hear your shit ended and was like, okay, it's currents for me too. Like, I'm gonna just end it. Like, we're done. No, that was not the plan at all. It just happened that way. All that to say, though, it was curtains for both of us.
We're back to being freshly single, and that's exciting because there's an event coming up by Sappho Social that we're going to try and apply for.
Yes, I think that'll be super fun.
That'll be fun.
And I want to see the queer, it's like through the queer softball, like, they were the ones who posted that story.
Oh, okay.
It was like Sappho Social posted the Instagram, and it's like, I forget how they did it, but it's like tee up a friend or whatever or some shit.
It was like, yeah, pitch.
Pitch a friend,
Pitch a
yes.
friend.
So it's like you nominate your friend and then you kind of like, to a bunch of single women who are going to be at wherever, and be like, this is why you should go out with her.
Yeah.
And we both definitely want to do that. But I'm
Yeah.
also excited because Sappho Social posted the Instagram post, which are the sapphic kind of club community around here.
We've talked about it
and
before.
and then the queer softball page in Minneapolis were the ones who like put it to their story, and that's how I saw it.
Gotcha.
And when they start playing games again, I want to join so badly.
You should. You
I want to
really
join so
should.
badly.
That'd be really awesome.
Because that's the first thing I've seen from them. I think I like turned their story notice on so that it goes to the front too.
I think
just
you
because
should
I wanted to
definitely
be
do that.
notified. But anyway, I think that'll be super, super fun because also exposure now to the queer softball community.
So yeah, and then also just going out was not that it really changed much for us when we were in our talking stages, like going out, but it's more fun when you're single and we can go to more. But then at the same time, like I don't even know if I want to date right now. That was kind of the issue.
Yeah. No, I agree.
It's
I was
like,
actually about to say that, like, the matter of, like...
I just want to fuck, that's it. If I'm being honest, guys, and that's what I, like, came to the realization last night when I was tipsy, I'm like, damn, all I really want is some greasy food and sex, and that's it. And sex is, like, if that, like, honestly, and then, you know me, I take care of myself, and I'm like, okay, actually, never mind, it's fine. Like, that's all I want, like, I just can't. I need to sit in my bed and eat the nastiest food and get crumbs all over my bed and then watch millennial men play GTA. Who gonna do that with me? And I don't want anyone else to do that with me.
Yeah. We also had a conversation earlier this week where, so, like, this mutual let's stop talking happened, like, last week. So this week, going into this week was, like, my first week, like, no dates plans, no romantic plans. And I was sitting on the couch and I texted more, sitting on the couch in the dark, eating some of my little pretzels, like, having my little dessert, and just got my new, because, I moved, on my nice new purple couch with my big-ass TV. I shelled out for a motherfucking big TV, and it's much closer to the couch than, like, it was farther apart in my old place, and my eyes are shot. Like, I actually wear glasses, which I think are in some videos. I can't see anything right now. So, like, having a huge-ass TV much closer, like, actually changes the vibe completely for me. Like, I can lock in so much more. And also, I'm such a movie theater fan, and it kind of, like, in the dark, it really creates that movie theater effect where it's, like, I watched the first thing I watched on there, and I was like, yeah, when Hail Mary comes out, I can give Morgan the correct experience.
Yeah,
I need to get external speakers,
system.
yes. Anyway, all that to say, sitting there, I'm watching The Owl House, an animated show for children that I'm watching because it has a sapphic storyline. Not that it's not great, I'm loving it. But anyway, sitting there, stupid, like, in my fucking boxers and my freaking Amazing Digital Circus bunny hoodie, like, with full bunny ears, fucking on my purple couch with my big-ass, like, fucking expensive TV that I spent my fucking money on because that's what, like, fucking single, like a fucking man. Like a man. And I'm sitting there watching my chud-ass show, and I'm like, I texted Morgan, I'm like, I can't, like, there's not a single human being I can imagine on Earth or, like, conjure in my mind where I'm like, I want someone to be here right now in this moment.
Yeah.
Not that I don't want to hang out with friends, but you know what I mean? Like, on a weekday night where it's just your casual routine, you're relaxing, you're every day.
Are different.
Constant every day. Like, I can't imagine someone being with me doing this shit constant every day, and I don't want that.
Like, living with another person, like, especially.
Yeah. Like, oh my god, I'm loving my, like, nice little moment, like, my nice little night right now. And another person right now laying next to me wanting to talk or wanting to cuddle or whatever, like, would piss me the fuck off.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if we can talk about much more. I'm just, without, like, actually dogging ourselves out and, like, how terrible we kind of are. In the sense of, like, I feel like no one else is in the same way where we're just men. We're just acting like men and, like, I don't want to see you every day.
I don't necessarily guess I don't crave a relationship. Like, that's what that is. I don't crave constant companionship because I feel like I am enough for myself. That's what it is at the end of the day. And, yes, maybe that does make us, in some aspects, I do think we do act like piece of shit men. Like, I'm not saying your point is completely invalid, like, funny and true. Yeah. But I do think that we feel so isolated and feel so bad about that in a way because so many women don't even get to that point of liking themselves enough that they can just, and being independent enough and being able to provide what they want from themselves and know things that they like outside of a man. Yeah. Or a relationship. Yeah. I think it's across the board.
No, that's
relationship.
So true. Some people can't even, like, stand to be single, and, like, I'm more like, how can you stand to, like, be in a relationship?
Share everything about your life with another person all the time.
Yeah.
And I also think maybe it has a bit of, about the neurodivergence of both of us, that seems like such a task to constantly be. Because that's also, I guess...
It's just work, and it's, like, it's too much work.
Right. It's like you're constantly... My issue with dates and stuff is, like, you're constantly on. Like, my social battery is constantly on in those scenarios. Whether I want it to be or not, it's not necessarily like, oh, I need to project this fake persona and, like, be this perfect person for this person I'm going on a date with. That's not how I feel. But any sort of social interaction with me is a battery that runs out. Yeah. I am an introvert at this point in my life, I believe. I think I'm an extroverted introvert where it's like, I love being with my friends.
Is that called an ambivert?
I think.
I don't remember.
I think ambivert is, though, that you can recharge with both. That's not necessarily true. I'm an extroverted person in the sense of, like, people perceive me as very extroverted, and they're like, oh, like, in, like extroverted in, like, what you would imagine your stereotypical extroverted person acts like. That's how I act. However, I recharge alone. I do not recharge around other people. Amelia, my friend, she is extroverted in the sense of, like, that's how she recharges, being around her friends and other people. Like, when she's emotionally drained, like, she needs to be around people. And it's like, I could never do that. I could never live that way.
Yeah.
So I do think that, like, contributes to it a little bit. And also the fact of, like, it, like, social battery is much smaller. Because I'm disabled, my physical battery of how much I can give is much smaller.
Right.
And also just, like, my mental health is so precarious, and I'm so paranoid, turned on all the time. Like, I have to be able to chill.
Yeah.
I can't do it 24/7. And obviously, I think that if I ever have, like, a serious romantic partner, I've hit a point with them where it's not on all the time. Totally. But it's getting to that point.
Yeah.
And whether or not I want to put in that work with a person right now.
Because that's the hard... Because, like, the hard part is just getting to there.
Yeah.
And I don't want to...
And I don't think, like, there's very few people, even with my friends, who I feel... I'd like, where it's like I'm not losing any sort of social battery to hang out for, like, long periods of time. Yeah. Like, I think Ange I could hang out with for forever. Liv I could hang out with for a very long time. Aaron, I think I could hang out with you for a very long time. You, I think I can hang out with for a very long time. That's pretty much it. And I think... Oh, but, like, I'm not trying to dox, like, make, like, not to any of my other friends that, like, you drain me. That's not true. Yeah. But there's some level of on that I am, I guess, where it's like, it's not by choice how much of my guard is up or down.
Right.
And my guard is much stronger than the average person's. Yeah. And I think we got to that point because we spend so much time hanging out, just sitting on the couch watching a YouTube video, just sitting on the couch watching a movie. Yeah. And that's when I feel like I can hit that space of, like, I'm not draining anything. But,
when,
like,
you can genuinely sit and, like, lock in on something and not feel like you have to talk, that's when you know you've made it.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And... yeah, sorry, not to shit on any of my other friends who watch this or who I'm close to. And maybe there is some level with other people, that's just what comes to my head, I guess. Yeah. And, like, even, like, with our friend group, when we go out, if me and you go out to the club, yeah, social battery is now on, even if we don't talk to anyone else. Yes. Or we go to the movies, or whatever. It's, what I'm saying is, like, you could exist in my house for, like, probably a long period of time. Yeah. And it's not gonna, and that's still, like, not forever. I think the only person I could really do it with for forever is Ange, but I also think that she couldn't live with me forever because of how she feels about cleanliness and stuff. Sure. But that would be it.
Then that's the same way, and that's why I also say, like, I can't imagine ever living with someone ever again besides my sisters. I think the sisters, I mean, yeah, I've gotten closer with friends over the years, but I think truly the only people, I'm going to say unmasked because, like, that's what it feels like. If I don't actually have an autism diagnosis, then oh well, but, like, the only people I've ever truly been able to unmask with, I feel like, are my sisters, and that's truly because they've been knowing me since before I was even capable of masking. Yeah. So, like, genuinely, and that's why I feel like they're the only people I could live with, because it's the only people I can imagine having in my space every day, and, like, not feeling like, I mean, and even from them, I can't share a room again. It would be like, I'm able to be in my room, but, like, in my shared spaces, like, it's fine.
I think I could easily live with Ange, but I don't think Ange could easily live with me. I think Ange realistically can't, like, have any roommate type of situation. Just the type of person she is and her level of comfortability and mental health, that's not my business. I think I could live with Liv again. I think we got it down to a science. There was definitely, like, a grift at first because... Sure. but we're so good at communicating bluntly because I think we wouldn't have had so many issues. We lived together my senior year of college, and me and Liv are best friends from college, and she's one of my best friends to this day. And we didn't have any real grifts when we first moved in, but a month after we moved in, we got a dog who is old and pisses and shits everywhere. And at the time, when we first got her, had a UTI so severe that we didn't know about. She peed in both of our beds in the same night. And we thought that the other person hadn't taken her out. Like, because one of us, the way we did it is, like, whoever took her out at night, then the other person takes her out in the morning. So we just, and then whoever, like, let's say it's my turn to take her out that night, take her out, and then I put her to bed in Liv's bed, because then Liv's going to wake up at 7 and take her out, right? So then, she started in my bed. I took her out that night, and then she peed in my bed. And so I was like, fuck this bitch.
Yeah, she's going in the other bed.
I put her in Liv's bed. I changed my sheets. I don't wash them. Ginger, in the middle of the night, again, pees in Liv's bed. And Liv thinks, obviously, Elizabeth didn't take the dog out. Yeah. And now Liv's up at 3 a.m, and she's washing her sheets. I took the coward's way out and just ripped the sheets off the bed and soaked up the piss and was like, yeah, okay, I'm going to put new sheets on. Sorry, hashtag gross and nasty. And they caused this huge fight, obviously, because we each thought that the other person, but that's like a miscommunication where it's like situations like that kept coming up, and the dog kept having all these issues, and also figuring out how do you joint take care of a dog. I'm the one who's technically responsible for Ginger and financially responsible. How much can I realistically ask of Liv / how much, like, Liv had to learn to communicate, like, this is how much I'm willing to take on, or like, you know, let me know when it's too much. It just hit a level of we had to be confrontational consistently. So now I do think I could live with it again, because also in, like, friendship, we're very blunt with what we want. Like, if I want to rant, I think, because there's so many I think instinctual ways that we try to talk to each other when serious things come up when you're ranting or trauma dumping, for lack of a better word. Trauma dumping, not in the negative connotation, just confiding, really. Sure. You know, because I think trauma dumping is when it's really, like, not when you're supposed to do that. You know, dump, like, putting something on someone. Yeah. But when we're confiding in each other or even just ranting, we get to a point where it's like, if I'm ranting and I don't say, I do not want advice, she will ask me, do you want advice, before she responds, because we just have so many times communicated not what the other person wanted. And it was really good practice in friendships, with me being obvious, like, this is what I want from this conversation. Because a lot of the times I don't want someone to tell me how to fix it. Yeah. But the other person doesn't know that unless you tell them. Right. And that's the part that I feel like I've really learned from, living with Liv. I think that, and also born out of her being in a relationship that you didn't approve of, I think that does build it out, because giving unsolicited advice, especially when you feel the way you do, is gonna just hurt the situation. Right. Yeah. So also built out of that. Communication is really key, and I think an animal, not to say that, because it does kind of make it sound like if you're having problems with a roommate or a partner, an animal or a baby might fix it. It'll make or break it. That's for sure. Because it very nearly broke it. We almost gave Ginger back after a week, because it was a foster to adopt. And in that first week we had Ginger, we learned so much about what was fucking wrong with her that they did not tell us. But at the end of the week we were like, this old dog is gonna die in like a year. Like, we can't give her back. Right. By the way, it's been like 5 years. She's still very much alive. So they lied about that too. Yep. But, like, there were so many times we got in these huge blowout arguments where I was like, I don't fuck with Liv anymore, like, or maybe I don't fuck with Liv, or I'm not going to, and it was never true. Yeah. But it's like I would read a text, and my first reaction was always defensiveness, and that was also a big lesson of, like, Liv is coming to me and saying, you know, you've been at this sorority elections for 10 hours. Because when we did elections, they literally took 10 hours. Yeah. And she would be like, you have a dog at home. And if I leave her in the crate because it's not my responsibility, she's barking the whole time, or she's pissing and shitting. Or the alternative, I have to take care of her now because you're not home. Right. And that's not fair because it's not my dog. Right. And, like, granted, of course, we had to talk about that line of, what, you know, you can't always just say it's not my dog if you agree to some level of taken care of. Yeah. But that was true. I was away and like when we first had that specific fight, because the elections happened multiple times a year, and it was pretty much, you know, an issue every time because it was insane. I was away for literally up to 12 hours. Right. Plus. And it's like, and I had a dog at home. Like that, it just doesn't, but my immediate first response to that first fight was defensiveness, because I was like, I literally have to be here. I don't have a choice.
Yeah.
I don't have a choice. Why can't you take care of the dog? We are two people. And just because today is a heavy day, why is that, like, why can't I have one heavy day?
Yeah.
And, like, granted, there's some thoughts in there that were probably valid, but I didn't even consider that I could be wrong.
Sure.
And it was really a lesson, Ginger, in many instances, not just that one, like, a lesson of, like, no, hear the other person out before you're immediately defensive. Yeah. Even though I don't think I can stop that defensive feeling. I think that's going to stick with me forever just because of the nature of how I was raised.
Yeah.
And also just human nature, I would say.
Yeah.
But, like, it's easier now to see through, you know, and really evaluate whether or not I'm going to act on that feeling or not.
Yeah.
You know, I don't just do it without thinking.
Right. Yeah.
All that to say, we're still single chuds. Ain't nobody want to date us.
That's what I've accepted, is I'm a femcel. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Fine. That's the way it is, and... What? I'm still better than an incel, so... And most men in general.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter, actually. I'm a femcel, but yeah, I'm better than most men.
Yeah, and I would agree with that. Are you on dating apps still?
No.
That's fair.
I tried. I went back on it again, and I gave it a week, and I was like, I fucking want to die. I can't do it. I can't just talk to talk.
Yeah, that's fair.
I can't, like...
That's another thing we both don't like, too. We don't like constant texting.
No.
Which I get. Once you are in a long-term relationship with someone, maybe you do want to tell them all your waking thoughts. Fine. Like, I can understand it because I've been in those shoes when I was younger.
I guess.
But I was younger, so it's harder for me now as an adult to be like, that's something I could ever want. And also, I don't want to do that with a stranger.
It's just been so long.
And I don't have anything to fucking say.
Since I've been...
Good morning. What are you doing? Nothing.
Literally.
Going to work again.
Like, coming up with... Oh my god, it actually makes me nuts. Like, it's been so long since I've genuinely been in a relationship like that. Like, the only others have been, like, me pining, and then it's, like, nothing in return. Or me... And, like, usually that's born out of, like, a super anxious attachment. And then, or it's, like, how it has been, like, I can't put in the effort to talk all the time.
I don't mind texting when I have something to say, but I just don't.
Of course.
I think also my need to want to talk all the time, because I do think I feel the need to text you all the time, and I do feel somewhat of a need to text Aaron all the time, but it's more so not because I have something to say or there's something not to say. It's more so just to feel that human connection.
Sure.
Like I send you a TikTok and you respond or whatever. And granted, like the TikToks is mostly because I want to share the Byler content. Yeah. But like I text you pretty much every day, and sometimes I do just text you random thoughts. Yeah. And it's not because like, I don't know. It's not, I guess, not the born need, I guess, of, like, needing to have this constant, but it's more so just, I am comfortable enough in our relationship that I just feel the constant connection, so I don't feel, like, an effort to do that, I guess.
The problem is not, like, just the texting, or, like, not, like, I don't want to text you, it's, like, feeling like I have to text you.
And then coming up with something to say. I guess we're at a point where I don't have something to say, or have to come up with. Yeah. I never text you good morning, or what are you doing, or anything like that. You know what I mean? It's literally, I just say what I have to say when I have to say it. I just have more to say to you all the time. Even if it's like a nothing burger thing to say. Even if it's just talking to talk because I want to talk to you. You know what I mean? So I guess I can understand how people get there in relationships. But I don't think I don't think I can do that in a talking stage because you are not a person that is that close to me where it's a concerted effort. We're talking, we're saying nothing burger things and I'm not feeling a connection with you because we're not building, that's not how you build connection. Right. It works for us because we have already built that connection.
Yeah, and there's like, I don't know, commonalities and like, it's not hard to think of something to say when you know a lot about that other person and know what they would be interested to hear. Not that it's always the type of thing like you want, like you're trying to talk to them for the case of wanting to appease them, but like, I mean, in a relationship it kind of is, especially when you're first starting out. Like, I'm not going to tell you all of the freak weird shit I'm thinking. You're going to get weirded out, or like, I don't know everything about you, and so I don't know what things would be interesting to you. It's like,
I think it takes me a while to be comfortable enough with a person where I just, like, I'm not making a concerted effort to come up with things to say. Yeah. There's some sort of transition somewhere along the line, you know what I mean? I just haven't gotten there in a modern relationship or romantic relationship in a really long time. So I can't fathom, I don't want to put in the effort in the beginning because I don't think there's much to say. I think realistically what I would want from a text perspective is like text for plans right in the very beginning so that I actually get to know you in real life. text when we have something to say, maybe something common that we're both been talking about, or like a callback. And then eventually, if we feel like we're gonna go that romantic way, once we're actually in a relationship, sure, maybe I could see myself transitioning to texting all the time.
Yeah.
But I just, like, I don't think it's a fair expectation at the very beginning. Yeah. Especially when all you have to say is, like, good morning, what are you doing? How was your day? How was your day? How was your day? How was your day? The same! Shitty every day! How about that? And you can't say that either. You can't say, my day was shit because my therapist broke up with me and then I went to do a fucking presentation for work and it also went nothing burger shitty and I feel bad about it. And now I stood up for 5 hours straight in a fucking radioactive lab and I went home and I don't want to fucking talk to you now. I want to watch my gay show and not speak to another human being because I feel like shit. Which has nothing to do with how my situationship ended at all.
Yeah, guys, I don't know. It's hard. I just need it to happen to me.
Okay, and that's what everyone says. Is that not what my sister said? True. You know when you know it falls out of the sky. Yeah. Because she met Sid on Hinge, her partner, but like both her and Sid were not looking for a serious relationship. They just were like going on dates to go on dates and get experience. It just happened to them in a way. Yeah. Which, is not helpful in terms of, like, reassurance or, like, how you know when you know. Like, I don't know. That's the issue. I guess it was obvious, though, that I didn't... I guess it's obvious when you don't know, I guess. Or maybe. When you know, in parentheses, negative.
I mean, because it's hard to decipher, like, what is normal and what is me not being interested. Yes. Like, what is... Especially when you're, like, the mindset that we have. It's, like, what is normal and what is, like... I don't want to talk to you because I don't like you versus, like, maybe not, I don't want to talk to you is not the right word, but, like, it's just too new, I don't have anything to say, like, we're just getting to know each other.
What is the difference between slowly building connection or slowly getting to know someone versus no interest at all? Yeah. Or just lack of interest? Yeah. That's also, I genuinely don't think I can get into a relationship with someone that I didn't already know. Which is, like, really puts me out.
Not if you get into the sapphic softball crew.
True. That's, a huge point. Huge point. You need to start playing gay softball. I was also realizing
we're saying this and kind of, like, outing ourselves as, like, chronically single and also, like, low-key bad people to date when you're starting anyways. And this is going to come out the Sunday after, the Monday. The Monday after that pitch thing. So if they would theoretically go to our pages and like, oh, new episode, and it's like, right. So we suck actually today. We scrub that. We are amazing.
When I have genuine interest, like, I don't, like, well, that makes you seem even shittier. No. But it's like, I'm not faking it. I'm not lying when I'm texting or, like, trying to get to know you. That's not a front. I'm just saying that does take social battery. Yeah. And there's only so much I can give when I'm not in a relation, when you're not close to someone. Yeah. Because I was about to say, like, I feel like I can only date someone who I already know because the strangers right to lovers is just, I can't get there fast enough with anyone. It always gets to the point where I still feel like we are barely acquaintances, maybe even slightly friends. Like, why are you wanting to see me multiple times a week? Yeah. Or, like,
I don't even see my good friends that much.
I feel like I'm trying to put an effort towards something that I don't feel myself. Yeah. And I don't know could it ever be possible for me to build into that from someone from Hinge or something like that. Right. I don't know. I worry that's not possible. Because everyone I've ever been romantically interested in, I've been invested in, like, a life or death, I'm obsessed and I can never see myself ever getting over you way. Which, granted, that was the last time I felt that was in 2023, which I was in a much worse mental place all of college than I am now. I graduated in 2023. And so maybe I don't know if it would be that intense as a 25-year-old adult who is therapized. But I also, so I feel it like that intensely. And also all of those people I knew. It wasn't like all of them were like friends to lovers per se. With Parker, we were never friends in like a normal, I'm not actually trying to get with you context. Yeah. Not once. Not for 1 second. Right. Even when we were both lying, not for 1 second. But, like, he was in my classes, and I saw him every single day. And even though, like, you know what I mean? We were in the same project. That's how I got to know Parker. We had a class together, And I literally only moved the class so that I could be with my friend. Me and him got put in the same project group right off the bat, and I'm seeing him 4 times a week. And we're talking every single day. And of course, I had a crush on him right off the bat in the sense of he's really hot. But, like, I built that, like, attraction romantically because I was seeing him all the time in a casual scenario.
Yeah.
But we were never friends. So it's not necessarily like I need to be friends with someone, but, like, I need to know you. And I didn't, like, a week after being on the project, I wasn't in love with him after I was in a project with him for a week or, like, wanted to date him romantically. Yeah, I wanted to smash, I guess. But, like, if he had presented to me after, like, that first week being like, do you want to come over? Like, 30% chance I would actually have done it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Also, I was dating Nick at that time, so.
Oh. Well.
That doesn't count, though, guys. That cheating doesn't count. Well, I didn't cheat on him with Parker, actually, even, so. It was with Pietro. Different P name. Also an engineer. But also, all that to say, that doesn't count either. Just trust me on that. I don't want to explain it, but I promise I'm not a cheater.
We are great partners. We just take some work. And I, like, what do...
But imagine someone saying that about a man. And I'd be like, fuck you, I'm not doing no shit work for no man. He's just a bit of a fixer-upper.
I don't know.
Not work to change us, that's the difference.
Talk to our friends, like, we're really great. We show love really great with friends, like, we just have a hurdle to get through. And I feel like if you know that ahead of time, it's not as crazy.
I also
if you know ahead of time, like, we're not the people that want to text all the time off the bat. We don't want to hang out every day. Is that crazy? I feel like if we're too aligned in it, there's got to be other people that are also aligned.
I just genuinely also think, like, I can't start trying to get into a romantic relationship with a stranger.
Yeah.
I just can't jump right to that.
Yeah.
I don't have to be your friend first, but, like let's hang out once a week for a couple months and, like, I get to know you. Like, we're on date 3. This is the 3rd time I've ever seen you in my life, and there's an expectation that, like, you want to make out with me. It's like, I don't know you. You are still, which also, I think, you know, my exaggeration of how much of a stranger a person is also definitely comes from his trauma response, because in my head it's like, you are a stranger, you could still turn on me and kill me at any time. Why the fuck do you want to be in a romantic relationship with me? And, like, surely there's some sort of trauma response embedded in there. But I do think there's just a level of I don't know if it's demisexuality, though, because I don't really think it's the sexual piece. It's more the romantic piece. So I don't know what the word for that is. Demi-romantic? Is that a thing?
I think it is a thing, actually. But wait, that kind of is not... Maybe it's not, because that doesn't make sense. Because the whole thing of demisexual
you have to be romantically involved to want to be sexually involved.
But maybe it is I don't know.
It's kind of subversive, though. Like, I don't know.
There might be some word of it. I've been thinking about demisexual a lot, though. Because, like, I genuinely just... Like, sex is never that great unless I really wish the person liked me back, or the person does like me. And I like them a lot, I guess. I don't know. I'm not thinking about it anymore. And no, and I'm not cut out to be a lesbian. Not that I ever claimed to be, but, like, the U-Haul is going to drive right past me because I can't do that.
Yeah, neither of us are stereotypical, not that we either of us identify as lesbian, but, like, stereotypical sapphic even stereotype, like, we are the opposite of that,
which is maybe, like, why it feels
we're more so the stereotype of the mask who avoids you and does not like you but is gonna keep you on the line, but, like, not even, but,
no, because, like, we can't even get to that point. Yeah, we can't even get to the point where people, I guess, I don't know, maybe for me it feels like I don't have bitches lined up wanting to date me, and I'm just like, no, it's not gonna happen. It's just like, I can't. No,
like, you're not even giving them enough to make, like, you know what I mean? We're not teasing. We just genuinely are like, no.
Your competition is me in my bed and my food and my iPad.
Right.
That's your competition. There ain't other girls out there competing for my time. Right. It's like, oh, I could be in my bed with my cats and my food and my iPad.
Yeah, real.
And I'm playing High School Story on my laptop.
That's a huge life update from Morgan's perspective. Can you explain because did you get all of the stuff to be able to just play, or did you actually have to grind for...
Oh, no, I got the modded version.
Yeah, so
I get all the shit for
free.
Well, if y'all know about High School Story, if you ever played it, it was a mobile game where you basically build a high school in a way, and it's like a story game. Kind of gives... like, like Heyday? Is that what that one was called in a way?
Yes.
Kind of, and like in the way that you're like building a school,
farm,
but then you're also like you're getting people to go to the school, and you get to design those people. Actually, it's kind of like it's kind of Tamagotchi Me. It's very that coded, a little less random than that, but yeah, our friend and I were talking about old games, I think, and I just randomly got back, and then we found a YouTube video of someone playing it like a year ago, so I'm like, oh shit, because it's not a game you can find as a mobile game anymore, like, there's ways to get it, so I had to, like, download this, like, app player on my laptop, which basically allows you to play mobile apps on your laptop, and then I used the link of a modded version to play it, and so now I play it, and it's modded, so I don't have to, the whole thing with the game was, like, you have to wait hours for things to update, and you have to, like, wait for money and shit, to be able to do things and complete quests, but I already have all that, so I just play whenever I want. And and the stories are cheesy, but I am having a great time. It is eating into my DJ time, though. I'm not practicing how to DJ, I'm playing High School Story!
True, the entire friend group came together. I made a group chat with all of them around the time when we talked about, I think we were talking about it on the podcast, about how she needs to be a female DJ.
Yeah.
And I texted everyone, and I was like, okay, like, I actually looked it up, and it's not that expensive, and we could all break it down pretty easily and buy her a starter DJ set. So she is, up-and-coming female DJ in the Minneapolis area.
And I do want to get on it, because now that I have a set, every time I'm like, I get mad when I see a DJ that's not DJing the way that I would DJ. Granted, I have been barely nothing. Honestly, the thing that's setting me back the most right now is, like, making a good playlist. And I started on Spotify, but actually I do need to do that soon. But Spotify's not great for DJing. It's just not set up for it. So I gotta I have YouTube Premium, which includes YouTube Music, Spotify, and now I need to get a separate third app to do DJing. But that's because I want good quality music.
But you love the game.
No, I do love the game. I'm excited about it, but that's what's putting me off. Is like I need to make new playlists over there, and that's a lot. It's not that much. But when High School Story is taking up my time, I'm like, bro.
Bigger things to do. You know how many... You know what really solidified for me that I was a femcel? Now, like, you know how you texted that last night being like, oh, I know now?
Yeah.
When I had the third female talking stage text me female... I'm going to retract that. When I had the third woman texting me saying, oh, like, can you talk right now or are you playing Fortnite?
Right.
And I was. That's the crazy part was every single time that's happened to me, I was.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, like, let me just finish this game and I'll hop off. And I'm like, okay, someone need to kill me. Like, I'm done. I'm chopped. Yeah. Put me on the chopping block. Clearly, there's no coming back from that.
And is it so wrong to be fucking a femcel? Like, I don't know. I'm not committing hate crimes. I mean,
I've had the allegations since this shit started. The first episode, you hurled the allegations at me. So you know what?
I didn't necessarily say you specifically, but the room is like there ain't no denying that.
This is my personality. Like,
and now we realize that it is actually a manifestation.
I knew it from the first time you said that. I knew it. I knew you were like, you are femcel. Like,
no, I wasn't. I said the room was. I want to clarify. The room was.
I knew the truth.
Okay. Maybe there was an outline. But no, because it was based on that TikTok I sent you where someone was
because that's based off the stereotype of what a femcel girl would...
Yeah, they were making a femcel room in The Sims, and I was like, this is your room. Like, literally bar for bar. So, and if the shoe fits, we're gonna fucking wear it. Like, I don't give a fuck. Sorry.
But, hopefully maybe next week we'll find our true loves at the...
Yeah, we'll be different people by the time that
we will run back the title from last summer. We are changed people in all caps.
Again.
Part 2.
Fuck, guys. So I mean, we mostly talked about romantic life updates, but honestly, not too much has happened, really.
I have another life update, but I was going to wait for must recommend, but...
Okay. Oh, yes.
That's the hint.
We could go out of order. We could do must recommend now and then do advice after.
Sure.
Since we're just talking about it.
I must recommend that everybody needs to clock in and listen to Mayhem by Lady Gaga. listen, I've let it be lax. I let people be like, you know, we all know that Lady Gaga is a queer icon, right? And every album she releases is queer history. It really is. And I've let, and like, not that no one listens to some of the songs. Everyone knows Abracadabra. But I've let it slide with my queer community and the queer community that is you guys in general. But like, you guys need to clock in. If you haven't, you need to clock the fuck in. Like, I'm getting mad now. Like, last night, me and one of our other friends, we went to the Mayhem Ball, and that would be my must recommend, but she only has one more show left, so we're kind of, y'all are shit out of luck. Oh my god, the show was so good, and it was like a haunted Phantom of the Opera. The setup of the, okay, Ginger is gonna walk right between.
Period, girl!
But, it was like, the stage production was one of the best I've ever seen in my life. It probably was the best, but I was sitting in the way back, so, like, it didn't feel as resonating, you know what I mean? But it was still such a good concert. Sounds perfect, exactly like she does on the record, and every song she played live, I was like, this is a perfect record! And that's saying a lot because to make me say that instead of Kisco by Harry Styles, because that is also a perfect record, and I also cannot... Ginger, please! Please, you actually drive me crazy. Sorry, me and Ginger have been beefing today. And that's saying a lot because I was really thinking I was going to come on here and talk about Kisco, Harry Styles, because that's also a perfect record. And also, you queer bitches in my iPad right now need to lock in and get into it because you are all slacking. You are slacking on queer history. You really are. But if we're talking about Mayhem, best song, Vanish Into You. I listened to it, I'm not kidding, today while I was boiling my period disc like 5 times straight. In a row. It was literally life-changing. Mayhem Ball, life-changing. Seeing Lady Gaga live, life-changing. And I know that's not really news. Everyone knows that Gaga's a queer icon and that her shows are amazing. But, like, wow. I was amazed. And anyway, this is my Mayhem Ball sweatshirt that I got. I actually am going to fillet you on the freaking grill.
Yeah, that's a good pick. Also, speaking of really good sets, I watched, like, clips of Sabrina's at Coachella. And it looks really good. I'm, like, low-key feeling jealous about that. I'm like, damn. Because she did a lot.
But well, when we're gay famous, we're going to go to Coachella, obviously.
Right.
Because we're going to be sponsored in a big-ass house.
Yeah, but the standing in the desert, like...
When I'm gay famous, I'm gonna be clocking into my Coachella tea. I am gonna do Coachella once.
Like...
I'm gonna do it once. Even if we don't get gay famous, I'm gonna do Coachella once. But it has to be like we texted, like Beyonce, Beyonce, Harry Styles. Like I know they've already done it, but like it has to be that level of like to me like the essential viewing. Right. I would not do it for Justin Bieber. Right. Unless I guess I was getting paid, which is different. Right. But
I think my recommendation is S'mores Blizzard from Dairy Queen. Because it is the best Blizzard that they have. I'm not even a big s'mores person. Like, I don't like a marshmallow, but, like, it's just a vanilla Dairy Queen, and then it's got graham cracker pieces, and then, like, chocolate, like, little chocolate squares. And it's fucking delicious, and I crave it all the time, and it's there for, like, the whole summer. And I think about it a lot, and I think y'all should try it if you, I don't know, like ice cream and, like, chocolate pieces. I mean, that's really it. It's fucking good. That's it. So let's get into advice then. A little bit out of order today, but my question was, is it worth saving the pants 2 sizes too small and too big? Maybe that means, okay, 2 sizes too small and then too big. I mean, honestly, probably not. I mean, if you can get money from them, I think it would depend on, like, I'm not the best person to say this because I definitely keep pants that are too small. I think I might do away with those when my sisters come up. Maybe tomorrow even, since I'll see my parents. But, like, why, like, what's really the point in keeping them around, especially when styles change so much? Not that you have to be someone that really, like, likes a style, but there's pants that I've kept and hope that I would, like, fit them again one day, and I'm like, by the time I would even get into fitting them, I'm like, I don't even like the style of these anymore. Yeah. Like, why not just, like, sell them, and then, especially if they're worn, like, you've worn them a lot, and you've got your money's worth out of them, and that you just don't fit them anymore, then get rid of them. Like, the clothes are not meant to last you for years and years in hopes that you eventually fit them again, especially in this economy. Like, or not economy, but like this fashion industry, like everything is made so cheap. You're not, like, if you can keep clothes for a long time, and trust me, I do, it's like great, but like they're not meant to last you for your entire life. It's okay to be like, okay, these served their purpose and now they're done. But if it's something new, like, yeah, I guess, like, unless you genuinely should, like, feel like you will range in your sizes a lot, or, I mean, if you want to hold it as a weight loss goal, I guess that's your tea, but, like, sell it and buy something that actually fits you.
Yeah, I would say I don't support keeping pants that are 2 sizes or whatever size is too small, because I think it just shames you in a way that's unnecessary. I can understand keeping pants that are 2 sizes too big, but I think more so that comes from my perspective that, like, I wear clothes that are a little bit big or oversized.
Sure.
Like, having jeans that were 2 sizes too big, if they can fit and I can walk in them and they're not, like, falling off,
sure,
then I'm gonna keep them. If they're big enough where it's like they're falling off, okay, yeah, then, like, my body is not gonna change that drastically overnight. I'm gonna get rid of them in the same way that my body's not gonna drastically shrink 2 sizes to pants I can't get on overnight. That's kind of my tea. But I think the smaller is more, like, you hold on to those for shaming reasons as opposed to bigger, I feel.
Yeah, goals of reasons like, oh, I want to eventually fit this again one day. But, like, yeah, I feel like we tend to, as people, I feel like, just to buy, or as women, I feel like I should say, like, buy a lot of clothes and keep them around forever in, like, ever expanding closet when it's like, really, you don't need that much. So yeah, no, I don't think you need to keep those around. And I'm telling that to myself, and maybe I'll remember this, and tomorrow I'll bring a bunch of clothes that I will donate to my sisters, who hate my style and probably won't take it anyways.
My sister's the same way.
Yeah.
My sister used to walk into my room when we both lived at home and be like, all your clothes are ugly, and then walk out.
There used to be once upon a time that they would, I mean, they didn't love to take my hand-me-downs, but they would, like, happily, and now, the age I am, they're like, first of all, most of my hand-me-downs don't even fit them, because even though they don't fit me, they don't fit them. And then second of all, they're just like, yeah, this is ugly. I'm like, right, okay, thank you. So.
Ginger is back for revenge.
Yeah.
She was asleep this whole time, so we were kind of, like, spared from her wrath, but, like, there's not a good place for her to sit now, so she kind of just paces.
Sit on the blanket, little girl. That'd be nice for you.
That's why the blanket's there. But,
right.
My advice. Am I the a-hole for buying my friend the gift she wanted? My friend for the last year always stated she wanted this expensive ring. Her boyfriend said he was going to get it for her last year for Valentine's and never did. After Christmas, when I saw she still didn't have it, I bought it for her on her birthday. Now her boyfriend is complaining about it and saying he was going to get it. They are now fighting that I'm too involved as a friend, but I wanted to do this as a nice thing. Am I the asshole?
No.
The boy was not going to. The boyfriend was not going to buy it. He only said that because now he looks bad.
Yeah. You snooze, you fucking lose. If you're as a partner, this is not just a boyfriend, it's a common boyfriend thing, but, like, as a partner, if you're failing to your friends, like, if your partner's, I'm saying this from the point of view of the boyfriend, if your partner's friends are outdoing you, you're the problem.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, not necessarily a problem. I think two things can exist, though. It's like, she can it shouldn't need to be a competition. Like, whoever gets us this thing, nice, cool.
Right, it's not like a race to who's going to buy the thing. It's the fact that the boyfriend clearly did not notice that that's something the girlfriend wanted or didn't care. And then so the friend who had noticed and waited to say, oh, maybe the boyfriend, they have this conversation. She's so obvious that she wants it.
Yeah.
Her boyfriend probably would want to be the one to buy that big romantic thing. But then the friend saying, like, clearly the boyfriend's not doing it. I want to do this thing for my friend because this is something that she wants.
Yeah.
It's the fact of the boyfriend not noticing, I think, or caring, per se.
Yeah.
Not stepping up in that way.
Caring or, like, taking the effort and then you get outdone and all of a sudden it's a problem.
Right. Yeah. I guess I can't say break up with a boyfriend because that's not the person asking the advice, but you're definitely not the asshole as the friend.
No. I don't think so. That's what you should be doing for your friends. And if they want something, you get them. And, like, that's the same thing as a partner. What you'd expect from a partner. So yeah, I hope. Too involved. What does that mean too? You're too involved.
When you're too good of a friend and now your boyfriend...
You're suddenly too involved, like, you're too into their
it's literally
relationship.
like, oh, you're too good of a friend and my boyfriend says we can't be friends anymore. He needs to still have control over me, obviously, and have a monopoly on who's the closest to me. So, sorry, you're too good of a friend. You have to get cut out.
Yeah.
Can someone look at this rat and tell her she's disgusting?
Oh.
You disgusting rat! You disgusting rat! You want all this attention. There's a blanket for you right there.
Guess that means we have to end, guys, and we're to the conclusion anyways.
Yeah,
so,
good stopping point with Ginger starting to be restless.
Yeah, you can follow us, meaning the pod, at weknowbetterpod on Instagram and on TikTok. It has 2 Ds. You can follow me at morecooper2020 on Instagram and TikTok. You can follow Elizabeth at elizabethrosepenabrown on Instagram and edgyliz on TikTok. What else?
Our pinned posts all have to do with a mutual aid fund to benefit people being affected by the ongoing political situation in Minneapolis. Mm-hmm. And if you want to donate or share, always needed and help and wanted.
Yep. We've also got an advice form linked in our Instagram and in this bio, so you can ask us some of your own questions, and we'll let you know if you're an asshole. Yeah.
We'll let you know if your boyfriend sucks.
Yeah, which, well, I feel like you probably already know the answer to that. For us, Ginger is committing warfare. She's going to literally pull out the mic. So I think that's it for us, guys.
All right.